Shinta, the Mataji is not there?
No, Mataji, they went to hometown, so they are in their nanny house, maternal house.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm in Pune, so that's what. So we recently shifted in Pune, so that's what. Everything is here and there. So maybe after a couple of weeks, everything is
Yeah,
streamlined. So initially we have some results.
okay. Thank you, thank you. And I
Anyway,
don't see Shinta Mataji, so I'll call her. I'll
sure.
call.
Okay, sure. So today we are reading chapter 17, verse number verse number 11. So Mataji Prabhuji, please take over the call and we can start the recording again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Mataji,
Ram,
you
Hare Hare.
can.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Please.
Mataji is joining in minute, so we will chant in
Sure.
there.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Ram Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
So
Krishna,
sorry, I was not able to connect. So finally, I restarted my phone. Thank you so much for joining. We will start our class with Mangalacharan prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितान् त्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. We are starting from verse number 11, where Krishna is saying that just like a food, there are different type of sacrifices also. It's about the how is the consciousness of a doer depending on these sacrifices are categorized into different categories. If the doer is in a mode of goodness, in a mode of passion, or in a mode of ignorance, then that affects the sacrifices that he's doing and the way he's doing. So we will learn more about that in the next three shlokas. So let's chant this shloka. So um, Haladar Das Prabhuji, please kindly chant 11, 12, and I think 13 also. Yes, 11, 12, and 13.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी
Hare
धन्यवाद.
Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Dhanyavad.
So I'm now chapter 17, text number 11, 12, and 13 on page number 648 on English Bhagavad Gita. So the text number 11, Apalakangshi Biriyagno Vidhi Disto Ya Ijjate Yastavyam Eveti Manaha Samadaya Sasatvikaha. Very easy, all three are not hard, Apalakangshi Biriyagno Vidhi Disto Ya Ijjate यस्तव्यम् एवेति मनः समादाय स सात्विकः। टेक्स्ट नंबर 12। अभिसन्धाय तु फलम् दम्भार्थम् अपि चैव यत् इज्जते भरतश्रेष्ठ तं यज्ञं विद्धि राजसम्। अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थम् अपि चैव यत् इज्जते भरतश्रेष्ठ तं यज्ञं विद्धि राजसम्। टेक्स्ट नंबर 13। विधिहीनम् असृष्टानम् विधिहीनम् असृष्टानम् मंत्रहीनम् अदक्षिणाम् मंत्रहीनम् अदक्षिणम् श्रद्धा विरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते। विधिहीनम् अशिष्टानं मंत्रहीनम् अदक्षिणम् श्रद्धा विरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते। Please try it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Let me try. Afala afalaकांक्षिभिर्यज्ञो विदिष्टो य इज्जते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः। अफलाकांक्षिभिर्यज्ञो विदिदिष्टो य इज्जते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः। अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् इज्जते भरतश्रेष्ठ तं यज्ञं विद्धि राजसम्। विधिहीनम् विधिहीनम् असृष्टनं मन्त्रहीनम् अदक्षिणं श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते। हरि बोल। Thank you so much.
Hare Bol. Nice. Good try. Good try.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Yeah.
हरे कृष्ण हर प्रसाद रेडी। अफलाकांक्षिभिर्यज्ञो विदिदिष्टो य इज्जते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः। टेस्ट नंबर 12। अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् इज्जते भरतश्रेष्ठं तं यज्ञं विधि राजसम्। टेक्स्ट नंबर 13। विधिहीनमसृष्टानं मन्त्रहीन मदक्षिणं श्रद्धा विरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Text number 11. अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञो विदिदिष्टो युज्यते यष्टम्यवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः। Text number 12. अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठं तं यज्ञं विद्धि राजसम्। Text number 13. विधिहीनम् अदृष्टानं मन्त्रहीनम् अदक्षिणं श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare
Anybody would like to try? Okay. So text number 11. Afalakanksha. So what is the meaning of that? We will see. Afala akankshabhihi means by those devoid of desire for result. Afala akankshibhihi means by those devoid of desires for result. Yajnaha means sacrifice. Vidhi dishtah means according to the direction of the scripture. Yah which ijjate is performed. Yastavyam means must be performed. Eva certainly iti thus. Manaha means mind. Samadhaya means fixing. Saha iti satvikah in the mode of goodness. So, of sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the direction of the scriptures as a matter of a duty by those who desires no reward is of the nature of goodness. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The general tendency is to offer sacrifice with some purpose in mind. But here it is stated that the sacrifices should be performed without any such desire. It should be done as a matter of a duty. Take, for example, the performance of a ritual in temples or in a churches. Generally, they are performed with the purpose of material benefit, but that is not in the mode of goodness. One should go to the temple or a church as a matter of a duty, offer respect to the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, and offer flowers and eatables without any purpose of obtaining material benefits. Everyone thinks that there is no use in going to the temple just to worship God. But worship for economic benefit is not recommended in the spiritual injunction. One should go simply to offer respect to the deity. That will place one in a mode of a goodness. It is the duty of every citizen. It is the duty of every civilized man to obey the injunction of the scriptures and offer respect to the supreme personality of a Godhead. Now let's see shloka number 12. Abhisandhaya means desiring to, but phalam means the result. Dambha means pride. Artha means for the sake of. Api also. Cha and. Eva certainly. Yat that which. Ijjate is performed. Bharata Sreshta, or chief of the Bharata. Tam that. Yajna means sacrifice. Vidhi no. Rajasam means in the mode of passion. But the sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of a pride, O chief of the Bharata, you should know to be in the mode of passion. So anybody its purport is again small. I will just or anybody would like to read? These are only 3-4 lines.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
read it.
okay. Yeah, okay, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Sometimes sacrifice and ritual are performed for elevation to the heavenly kingdom or for some material benefit in this world. Such sacrifice or ritualistic performance are considered to be in the mode of passion. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. And the 13th verse, that is Vidhi Hinam, means without scriptural directions. Ashastra Anam means without distribution of Annam. Sorry. Just a second. What was the Sanskrit word was Vidhihinam Asrushtanam. Means Asrushta Annam means without distribution of the prasadam. Mantrahinam with no chanting of the Vedic hymns. And uh, Adakshanam means with no remuneration to the priest.
Remuneration. Remuneration.
Remuneration to the priest. Shraddha means faith. Virahitam means without. Yajnam, sacrifice. Tatsam, in a mode of ignorance. Parikshate means to be considered. Any sacrifice performed without regards for the directions of the scriptures, without distribution of the prasadam, that is a spiritual food, without chanting the Vedic hymns, and remuneration, sorry, Prabhuji, remuneration remuneration to the
Remuneration.
priest.
Remuneration. Remuneration.
Remuneration to the priest, and without faith is considered to be in a mode of ignorance. Hari bol. Aladar Das Prabhuji, would you like to read this purport?
Yeah. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Faith in the modes of the darkness or ignorance is actually faithlessness. Sometimes people worship some demigod just to make a money and then spend the money for recreations, ignoring these spiritual injunctions. Such ceremonial shows of religiosity are not accepted as a genuine. They are all in a mode of darkness. They produce a demonic mentality and do not benefit human society. Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So here, Arjuna asked Krishna about the faith, that is Shraddha, in the beginning of this chapter, that, like, those who are worshipping the demigods or the other people, where, in which category you think they will come? I mean, in which category they are, in mode of goodness or mode of ignorance or mode of passion? And then Krishna started talking about these three modes in very in depth. He's saying that, like, Shraddha means not just believing in something, but every action, everything that you do shows that what your Shraddha is, where your Shraddha is, or in which mode you are in. So actually explain about the Shraddha, Krishna started that, like, it is not just a belief, but what kind of a prasad or what kind of a food you are offering or eating. And now he is talking about the sacrifices. After this shlok, he will talk about the austerity also. So Krishna is saying that the sacrifices that we do, that is also of different category. Now Arjuna already knows that, like, how demonic people are and how, what kind of a sacrifices they do. But Arjuna wants to know that people who are not very demonic, they have some kind of a faith, but then still they have some kind of a motive. Then what kind of this what in what category this kind of a sacrifices will come? So Krishna is explaining here that, first of all, what is the best kind of a sacrifice that you should know, Arjuna? The best kind of a sacrifice is that which is according to the Shastra, according to the Vidhi that is given in the Shastras. You have to do those Vidhi perfectly. You have to call the priest. Priest will explain you, and then do the particular Vidhi according to the scripture. Second is that you do this sacrifice as a matter of a duty, that, like, we do so many kind of a puja, so many kind of a sacrifices, worship. Even doing your duty is also considered as a sacrifice. So all these are done as a matter of a duty. It is not that, like, there is some hidden motive behind it. It's a and by those who desires no reward, and after doing that sacrifice also, there is no expectation that I should get this from that sacrifice or that from this sacrifice. They are doing simply as a duty, and that kind of a sacrifice is considered as the best sacrifice. It is in a mode of a goodness. But we Vaishnavas, we do the sacrifice which is higher than that, because that is in a Shuddha Sattva. It is we are placed in a Shuddha Sattva. We are means like the great Vaishnavas. They are in a Shuddha Sattva mode. They are doing the sacrifice for the pleasure of the Krishna. It is not even for a. It is definitely for a duty, but their expectation is that Krishna will be pleased. But then again, their expectation is not that, like, after pleasing Krishna will award me or reward me anything. They just simply want to please Krishna. Their sacrifice is only for the Krishna, only for the pleasure of the Krishna. And the way Krishna is explained, Krishna explained these sacrifices in a shastra. So that's why in this Kali Yuga, the best sacrifice that we considered as a Hare Krishna Sankirtan. We don't do any other kind of a sacrifices, and that is what is recommended by the Krishna. But people who are in a mode of a goodness, they still do that, like, some of the sacrifices that, like, in their parents, then, like, their grandparents, they had been doing for years. So just as a matter of duty, they do that kind of a sacrifices. Or the kings do that. Janak Maharaj did many kind of a sacrifices, just so that, like, all the people in his kingdom will get engaged in doing something, like, pious activity. So Janak Maharaj, of course, was a great devotee, and he himself was situated in a right consciousness. But not everyone in his kingdom was a devotee, but at least they will get engaged in this kind of a sacrifices. And that was the purpose that Janak Maharaj did many different kind of a sacrifices. And also, as a leader, you are supposed to do the sacrifices very perfectly, so that like others will look at you and then they will follow these kind of activities. We see in many kind of like there are I have a storybook like where like all the stories in the Shravan Mass are given, and many other places. And if you read those stories, there is like big king, he started these kind of a sacrifices or this kind of austerity, and how the people in his kingdom followed that. So I had read it again and again. So it is like mode of a goodness, people who are in a mode of a goodness, even if like people who are in a Shuddha mode, Shuddha Sattvic mode, they are in like great devotee. But just as a matter of like people are looking up to you and they will follow you, they do many different kind of a sacrifices, and they do their duty. I mean, they do these sacrifices without any expectation, and these are the best sacrifices of the all. Then Prabhupada writes in the purport that general tendency is to offer sacrifices with some purpose in mind. And when you have some purpose in mind, though you are like pious purpose person, but you are doing this particular sacrifice so that you will gain something, you want to follow all the shastra vidhi, but your motive is that like I want some putra kamishti yajna I'm doing, I want some putra out of it, or I'm doing it for like to get some money, or I want some house, beautiful wife. These kind of motives are always there while doing the sacrifices. Very, very common in the general people. Because Krishna he himself says that like I created all these sacrifices in the fourth chapter, that like so that people will do these sacrifices, please like demigods, and get whatever they want. So general tendency is with some motive people do the sacrifice, and that is considered as a mode of a passion. And these sacrifices are uh, Krishna writes that it is for the pride also, sake of a pride. So again, there are also some levels. We can't just say that like it's a category of a passion only. When you ask something in return from a demigod, then it becomes definitely a passion. But then again, the sacrifice is done to get a pride, or then like so that like people will give me respect. So these kind of motives are there, and then it becomes like little bit more and more degraded, even if it is in a mode of passion. So there are many layers in these sacrifices. I mean, in passion also, we saw that like demonic people how they do sacrifice. So this is different than that. Then there is ignorant people who just, that is like the most worst of all three of these sacrifices are done without regards of the direction of the scriptures. So these people, they have they don't even have a faith, they are doing it because someone I guess forced them to do it or some kind of, but they are not even following what is given in the shastras. They are not even distributing prasadam, that is a very main purpose, like why we do the sacrifices, so that we will give the food to other people and their consciousness will also change. So if people who are in a mode of a goodness, they will definitely distribute the prasadam. But people who are in a mode of ignorance, they will not distribute the prasadam, or they will not even give the dakshina, or any kind of a dakshinam, it is what written, to the priest whoever is coming, because priest or the best priest or the brahmins in those days, or like even nowadays we can't say this statement, but in at least earlier days, they used to come, they do the sacrifice, they do the puja, but then they are not going to say that these are my fixed rate, like 250 for this puja, 300 for this puja. These are not the right tendency of a priest. So priests who are in a mode of, like, above the mode of goodness, I will say, they will just come, and as a matter of duty they will do the sacrifice. They will chant the Vedic mantra, and the host is supposed to give them dakshina, whatever he please. So we were just reading in the Ramaraj section of Bhagvatam, ninth canto, and here it is said that, like, Ram, when he came back after, like, with Sita ji, after killing the Ravana, he became the king, and after that he did the sacrifice, and he gave everything to the priest. He gave his, like, complete kingdom. He gave it as a dakshina to the king. But then these brahmanas, to the brahmanas, but the brahmanas who did that sacrifices, they returned this kingdom to the Ram, Shri Ram, and said that, like, requested that you only run this kingdom as a king. So this shows that what kind of a dakshina people used to give in this Satya Yuga. Sorry, Treta Yuga. In Satya Yuga also there are very many examples. Then we see in Dwapar Yuga also how Pandavas and Yudhishthir Maharaj had done, like, so many sacrifices and gave, like, there is so much description that what he gave, like, they used to give thousands of cows in the, as a dakshina, wonderful cows, and wonderful many different kind of things are written in there, like including the food stuffs, I mean grains, and then, like, maybe land. They used to give some land that is, like, in their possession. So that kind of a dakshina people used to give. Now tendency in this Kali Yuga is not to give anyone anything. Even, like, we also want, like, just a minimal amount, and then we want to get at the most from the priest. So priests are also charging, they are having the fixed rate. So it is all Kali Yuga, that, like, how people are also not honoring priest properly, and priests are also, like, very greedy, or like they are also expecting a lot when they are chanting these mantras for others benefit. So everything is polluted in this Kali Yuga, and that's the reason it is said that, like, it is not at all recommended. Just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. To chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is no need of, like, any other priest, or you don't have to do any big pandals, and do, like, calling people, food distribution, because you don't have energy, you don't have capacity, you don't have money, you don't have help. So in this yuga, just sitting at home and chanting the mantra is the best sacrifice of all. But the ignorant people still try to do it, and then they do it avidhi purvak, like, whatever is given, they don't follow. Like, we see that in the marriages also, people say that, like, oh, panditji, finish it in 5 minutes. So mantras are not even chanted properly. But we have to understand that, like, in order to do any kind of a sacrifice, like marriage is also wonderful sacrifice is there. Parents are donating their actually daughter to someone, and someone is accepting it. So it should be done with vidhi purvak, but people are not even having time, and they are not even interested in listening to these mantras. So it will be done in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But that is like a vidhi purvak. In vidhi purvak means, like, you have to chant all the mantra and do as per the direction of the scriptures. Then with the distribution of the prasadam, and with the giving the dakshina to priest. But here it is said that ignorant person do exactly opposite of that, and they won't even chant the Vedic hymn properly. So I had seen, like, people doing these kind of things. They do even ekadashi, but then just for a sake of Ekadashi in the evening, they will just eat it, because they don't even follow that next day morning you are supposed to break the fast at particular time. There is a many different vratas are there. There is a Sankashti and all. So all these fasting they do for a sake of doing, but then they don't follow that at time, what time you have to break the fast, at what time, or what you are supposed to do, like complete Ekadashi day you are supposed to chant, you're supposed to increase your reading, you're supposed to get the association of wonderful devotees. But instead of that, if you are doing ekadashi, you are watching a movie, or you are doing something like activities that is not told by shastras, then these kind of activities will not give you complete benefit. So these are the three different levels, different categories that Krishna is explaining. If we want like more details about like how we Vaishnavas do, then there are wonderful books, so Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu and others, where instructions are given. Even in Chaitanya Charitamrut, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like using all these wonderful devotees, explain so many things to us, that like what we have to take, like you have to what is the purpose of all these Vedic mantras, what is the purpose of this sacrifices, this austerity, where you should go, how you should do ekadashi. On ekadashi day, if someone is giving you prasadam, what should you do? I mean, it is supposed to be honor immediately if someone gives you Jagannath prasadam, but if it is ekadashi, then save it, and then next day morning, on the Dwadashi day, take a shower and honor that prasad properly. So all these details are given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Bhagavad Gita is like giving you sutra form, like all these things, like these are the, in very short 3 verses, Krishna explains so much. But again, if you see in Chaitanya Charitamrita or Srimad Bhagvatam, it is explained in detail with examples, and all the very small details. With the details, it is explained in these two other granthas. So with this, I will stop here. If you have any question or any discussion, if you want to do, we can do that right now. Vikas Prabhu, would you like to comment on these and previous verses?
No, Mataji, nothing to add. You explained very beautifully, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Anybody else? So, any question? Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Very, very, very beautiful explanation of Ekadashi and other things. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you. So yeah, we did 3 verses, but there is not a big purport and very straightforward these things are. So we finished it early. I think we can take one more verse, or we can save it for, because it is again the different kind of a sacrifices that we are talking tomorrow. So yes, we finished it today early. Balram Jayanti is coming. Vikas Prabhu, would you like to share something about the Balram Purnima? I have to go to a temple for cooking, so just 5-10 minutes I still have. So I would like to hear from one of you. Anybody would like to volunteer to? Valli Mataji is there, Vikas Prabhu, Haladar Das Prabhuji.
I have some news to share, Mataji, if that
Please.
is okay.
Yes.
So, on the auspicious occasion of Balram Purnima, our small suburb of Toronto, which is Mississauga, is opening the new temple, inaugurating and having the privilege to have the Lords reside at our temple in Mississauga. So tomorrow is the inauguration day.
Hari Hari. Jai. Radhe Radhe. That's a wonderful news, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
So with
Hari
this,
Hari Bol. Hari
yeah,
Bol.
every
Haribol.
every suburb of Toronto will now have a temple. So some of these are established, good big temples, and some of, like the one we are starting in Mississauga, is starting small, but we hope to have a big, large temple, good following shortly.
I like to share something, Mataji. May I please? Hare Krishna.
Oh, yes, Mataji. Mataji is on mute. So, yes, Prabhuji, you can share. Please.
Sorry, I
Oh,
was on mute. Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
yeah. I just want to say thank you very much to Vikas Prabhu. He's been donating lots of Bhagavad Gita. Last year, he donated like 8 cases of Bhagavad Gita, which I distributed all over. I mailed it, some of them to the prisons in the California, and some in the New York prison, some in the Houston prison. This year, he donated about 6 cases of English Bhagavad Gita, and I donated them to the Nepali groups. Those are trying to preach the Krishna consciousness over there in Nepal. And today we'll be distributing about 19 Gita ji. One of the Guru Maharaj is coming, and I told him he needs some Bhagavad Gita. So this great donation is done by the Vikas Prabhu. I like to chant 3 times Hare Krishna mantra for him. If everybody joins with me, please. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama
Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare
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 Rama Hare
Rama Hare
Rama
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 Hare
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Rama
Rama
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank
Wonderful.
you
Thank
very
you.
much, Vikas Prabhu, for your generous donation of Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
Hare Bol.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you
Bol.
so much.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Also, I would like also share that when I was in New Vrindavan, Vikas Prabhu was the one who always ready to donate the Bhagvatam set. So that time, so many, many thank you for him. And
Hare
also,
Bol.
we have a new member today joined, Uday Malgam. So let us welcome
Hari
him
Bol.
in our
Hare Bol.
traditional
Hare
chant,
Bol.
in our
Hari.
traditional way by chanting 3 times Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari
Bol.
Bol. Hari Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Bol.
What's the name, Mataji? What is name of the new
Uday.
devotee?
Udayji, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Uday Malgan. I'm based in Boyd, Maryland. Haribol.
Uday
Hare Bol.
ji, you are also studying Bhagavad Gita for a long time. So if you want to comment on these 3 verses, anything that you have heard before, we would love
And
to know.
I think today is my day 1, right? I think probably I will listen to uh, at least couple of times, and then definitely I will talk. But thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Hari Bol.
So, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I had a question. So, when you distribute the Bhagavad Gita in the prisons, do you have to take permission from the authorities?
Well, we have a group of people. I personally don't go. We have a group of people in California, a group of people in Houston, a group of people in New York area. So I did this. I mailed them, through the USPS, and they do the jobs. There were some Mataji and some individual devotees. They do that. Because they're specially trained for that. Yeah, you have to have a permission from the prisons officers. Yeah,
Thank
which
you.
I used to go here a few years ago in Elgin prisons, and they allowed me to do that for 2 years. So it's you have to go local officers, otherwise they would not do it. No.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Hari Bol. So tomorrow or it is today or tomorrow, Balram Jayanti is there. Lord Balram, sorry?
Tomorrow, Mataji.
Tomorrow, right. We are just, yeah, I was a little bit, thank you, Prabhuji. So tomorrow Balram Jayanti is there. In some temples they are celebrating today. In some temples I'm getting the mail today morning only. Balram, Lord Balram is a Guru, Adya Guru. Without Lord Balram's blessing, it is very difficult or it is impossible to achieve Radha and Krishna. So everyone prays to Lord Balaram because he is our Guru, and also uh, he is the one who will, take you towards the Krishna. So Lord Brahm, you can all pray to Lord Balaram for your bhakti or growth of your bhakti, and whatever your desire is to, like, what type of a services you want to do, need a knowledge, you want to do preaching, all your desires Lord Balaram can fulfill. So pray to Lord Balaram tomorrow, and happy Raksha Bandhan and happy Lord Balaram Jayanti. So with this I will stop here. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Vancha Kalpa.
Thank you,
Hari Bol, Vancha
Maharaj.
Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha
Patita
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Vaishnavesya.
Namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
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 Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Sri Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki
Bhagavad
jai.
Gita ki jai.
Jai
Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai. Balaram Jayanti ki jai. Jai.
Jai Jai
Jai.
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 Hare
Hari Hari
Krishna.
Bol.
Hari
Radhe
Bol.
Radhe.
Hare
Hari
Hare
Bol.
So
Hari
much,
Bol.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you. Hari
धन्यवाद
Bol.
माता जी हरि बोल
Hari Bol. Yeah, खूप short class.